The Vatican announced late Tuesday that Pope Francis has already arrived at the capital of the DRC, Kinshasa City. Its last papal visit was in 1985, 36 years after Pope John Paul II visited the Democratic Republic of Congo. Almost a half of Congo's 95 million people are Catholics. Africa has the fastest growing location for the church, and the church oversees education and health care in the DRC. Later, the government of the DRC declared that the fast of faith should be a public holiday to allow people from all over the DRC to go and participate in the Mass, which will be held by the Pope in Kinshasa. During his arrival at Ndolo International Airport, he was welcomed by yellow minibuses, motorcycle taxis, jeeps, and vans rushed past the entrance of the airport. People performed different traditional dances. School children were also able to dance in different ways with different uniforms. Shortly after his arrival, he met with President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo. On Wednesday, 1st of February, he led a mass at Ndolo International Airport, where about 500,000 people were able to attend the mass. Many people from Eastern DRC and other parts of the DRC were able to come and attend the mass. Most of the people attended the mass with joy in their hearts, since they had been expecting the Pope to visit the DRC during the papal announcement last year, but the Pope was not able to make his visit to the DRC due to the knee problem. The journey was postponed for 6 months, so he was able to make it early this year. During the Mass, he encouraged the Christians to be missionaries of peace. It's a decision that we have to make as followers of Christ in order to live at peace with one another. The choir group, which has about 700 members who had been waiting for him last year, sang during the Mass. The Mass was so nice and enjoyable that everyone felt that they were really enjoying the Mass. The capital, Kinshasa, was filled with banners of Pope Francis all over. Wherever you could move around the city, you could see Pope Francis on banners across the DRC, mostly in the capital, Kinshasa. The capital was decorated in a way portraying the Pope of the Vatican City, who is the head of the Roman Catholic Church all over the world. The Pope's visit to the DRC was meant to bring peace in DRC, mostly in the eastern part of the country, where rebels are fighting the government. The Pope encourages all Congolese to leave their differences and to unite as one, since Africa has diverse cultures, different languages, different traditions. He stressed out the issue of tribal differences to be left behind in order to unite all the people as one, leaving out differences that we share in our different communities all over the DRC. Most people in the DRC, mostly in Eastern DRC, felt that they are abandoned by the government in Kinshasa since the fall of Mobutu Sese in late 1990s. They decided to take up arms to fight against the government. The Pope stressed out the issue of unity. He urged the government of the DRC and the rebel groups to come together, to be united as one in Christ. Many victims of war in the DRC were able to move into Kinshasa to attend the Mass at the same time to see Pope Francis. He met with some of the victims of war in the DRC who were able to share their stories with the Pope. The Pope encouraged them that they are with the victims as the church, and they will pray for them at the same time for peace to come in Eastern DRC and the whole of the DRC as well. The Pope described the cause of the conflict in the DRC as poison of greed, driving conflict in Africa, mostly in the DRC. The Democratic Republic of Congo is one of the richest countries in Africa, which has a lot of resources, which includes diamonds, gold, copper, cobalt, tin, tantalum. But those stoked the conflicts between militia groups, government, and foreign invaders in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Later, after meeting the victims of war in the eastern part of the DRC, the Pope also met with some of the leaders of the charity groups in the DRC and encouraged them to work with love in helping the affected people in the Democratic Republic of Congo who are suffering. His next trip will be to the Republic of South Sudan later.